I'm pretty sure you told me stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I learned something from this other person. You're like, dude, I told you that. I know that's happened many times before because like in the back of my head, I'm like, here's Derek. I told you that. And I justify it by I wasn't in the right place to hear it, or I wasn't I wasn't in the right part of my journey to actually experience it and learn it conceptually. But you've told me many different things, or like I didn't get it, but I hear it from like Jorge Torres. I'm like, oh my God, Jorge Torres, the best thing in the world, And there are times when and I've admitted this. How many times have I told you I've taken so many teachers because I need to hear it many different times, like the same concept many different times from many different people because like I just need people to throw that dart till something sticks. Or someone go, oh my God, like I've learned such an amazing concept. It's the fundamentals. Why don't our local teachers teach the fundamentals? I have to get this thing from like this visiting teacher and like that. It's the fundamentals. Shouldn't our local teachers be teaching the fundamentals? But the truth is, the local teachers are teaching the fundamentals. They are saying these things, and it just didn't stick. Or maybe it stuck and it needed to marinate a bit because I'm a marination person. Like whatever you say, it's gonna marinate in my mind for 3, 4, 5 years, and that one special teacher is the one to get me over the hump. And I'm like, thank you, maestro. You got me. Like I don't know why these teachers haven't taught me this, but like you made it so much. You made it so easy.
All right, Rob. They say that you can't be a prophet in your own hometown, meaning that oftentimes when you see somebody and you've grown up with them, you don't get really the same respect that you would have if you traveled outside of that place. Like just take like your household, for example. I mean, your parents saw you as a baby coming out of their womb, right? Yep. It's really hard to then look at them as some kind of like grandstanding person, even though they respect you. They still see you as
the child,
yeah. Robert.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I wonder if we still get even knowing this, we often still get this in Tango. And it happens quite frequently, actually. But I wonder if enough people are aware of it.
So you mean like it's hard to get the respect from the people who are your peers,
right?
Like even if like tons of accolades or whatever.
Yeah, no matter what you do, you win the world championship or you win all these prizes, or you're hired to teach at festivals outside of your city.
I have to agree with you because it's kind of interesting because Brian, who we both know, is a national champion who is who got third place in Mundial, same with Utley, and just because we know them and we're so close to them, it's just kind of hard to. I mean, I do respect them, but it's not like I revere them like, the Mundial champions. It's not because they're like other Mundial champions, but it's just because I don't have this close tie, this like chummy relationship with them, where I feel like because I have that with. I mean, it's not like I don't. It's not like I respect them less. It's just because I have this chummy relationship with them that I act differently around them and with them than these people who come in from Buenos Aires or from Europe or whatever. Like, oh my God, such a great concept, Yeah. And when I learned something from Brian, I'm like, cool, man. I learned something. I totally appreciate it, but it's. I hate to say this. It's like I am guilty of this, and it's a bit hypocritical of me because I get pissed off when I feel like people aren't taking me seriously, but at the same time, like, you made me think about this. Like, you know what? I do the same thing to Brian. Like, damn it, No, it's true. It's true. And it's like it's not because I respect him any less or anything. Because like I totally respect him, and I appreciate what he gives, and I appreciate all he's done for the community. But again, it's one of those like, hey, buddy, like, and we have this different relationship. So it's almost like if I grew up playing basketball with Kobe Bryant, I don't care if he's in the NBA. It's like, oh, dude, it's my buddy Kobe, homeboy. It's hard to get past that.
That's true.
So,
is there a way that we can act differently or respect those, or is it just, that's like, it is what it is? Do you just have to, maybe you just have to encourage people just to go venture out and make your fame outward?
You know what? I hate to say this. I think it is what it is, because I can tell you right now, people who started with me, people who've been around me and everything.
Sure.
Yeah, I teach, but everyone I teach is like people who are just starting. They're the ones who are willing to pay me for private lessons. They're the ones who are willing to listen to what I have to say. Everybody else are like, oh yeah, thanks for the tip, Rob, and the practica. And nothing wrong with that, because I give information freely. Sure. But in a sense, it's like it's because our relationship is different. Right. And again, it goes back down to my relationship with Brian being all chummy and buddy. It's like I'm chumming buddy with all these other people that it's like I don't draw that line to say, hey, this is my business, respect my business.
It's like your tip that you gave in the practica had some famous Mundial champion come here and gave that person the same tip. They were glowing like, oh my God, that was the best private lesson ever. They said this one thing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you told me stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I learned something from this other person. You're like, dude, I told you that. I know that's happened many times before, because like in the back of my head, I'm like, here's Derek. I told you that. And I justify it by, I wasn't in the right place to hear it, or I wasn't I wasn't in the right part of my journey to actually experience it and learn it conceptually. But you've told me many different things, or like I didn't get it, but I hear it from like Jorge Torres. I'm like, oh my God, Jorge Torres, the best thing in the world, And there are times when, and I've admitted this. How many times have I told you I've taken so many teachers because I need to hear it many different times, like the same concept many different times from many different people, because like I just need people to throw that dart till something sticks, and that's just my thing, because like it's hard for me to understand these concepts, and sometimes it just takes that special person to say the magic words and open sesame, like I got it, light bulb comes off. But sometimes, as you said, maybe it might just be like this whole, our relationships are different, so I'm not hearing things, I'm not like, I'm not open, or I'm not, maybe subconsciously I'm not revering the words as much as I should.
Interesting.
I mean, it might be subconscious, it might be, I don't know. But I know that I do these things. And
I mean, it's really funny. Like you attend one of those like couples only workshops, and everyone's paid like, I don't know, $200, $300 to be there, and then you'll get these. I'm not gonna name any names, but you just get these teachers that they're great teachers and they're great dancers and they know what they're talking about. But I swear, if you recorded it and put a side by side thing where you have local teacher and you have visiting super couple, and said the same thing, the people in the super couple workshop are going to be raving on how great this lesson was. And it's the same exact lesson that their local teacher taught, but for some reason they don't get the same respect or the same return.
I have the best example, because you know what, I've said this too, and it's come full circle. And this is what you hear a lot. And I've said it too. I'm guilty of this, so call me a hypocrite. I'm out there, right? But how many times have you heard someone go, oh my God, like I've learned such an amazing concept. It's the fundamentals. Why don't our local teachers teach the fundamentals? I have to get this thing from like this visiting teacher, and like that it's the fundamentals. Shouldn't our local teachers be teaching the fundamentals? But the truth is, the local teachers are teaching the fundamentals. They are saying these things, and it just didn't stick. Or maybe it stuck, and it needed to marinate a bit because I'm a marination person. Like like whatever you say, it's gonna marinate in my mind for 3, 4, 5 years, and that one special teacher is the one to get me over the hump. And I'm like, thank you, maestro. You got me. Like I don't know why these teachers haven't taught me this, but like you made it so much. You made it so easy, And no, it's true.
It's
like,
very true. My goodness.
It's true for me, and I'm willing to admit that I'm that idiot. Yeah. But it's like it's a rolling constant of realizing that I'm that dirtbag I'm complaining about.
Oh, I think it also works with DJs too.
Oh, wait, in what way?
Like DJs that come from, I don't know, Europe or Buenos Aires or I don't know, any other place. If it sounds fancy or it's from international and they come.
Oh, you mean like if they have the same playlist?
The same exact playlist. Given the same. Oh my God, that DJ from Europe was amazing. Played the exact same playlist, but it's just the way in our mind we want to, I don't know, put it in this grandiose pedestal, and so then it becomes that.
You're probably right, but at the same time, for me, I somehow have a bias against non-American DJs, and a lot of it is because the super long cortinas.
Sure.
So in movies they have this thing called movie translation for subtitles. They have something called localization, where like the translation doesn't work, the direct translation doesn't work, and you need a local guy to translate the translation so make it fit in the local language.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the thing. That's my issue with DJs is that there's a lack of localization, and they do things that that work in Europe, but I'm like, it doesn't work here because they don't know the local lay of the land.
That's true.
But going back to the concept of you can't be a prop in your hometown. So here's an interesting thing. You're a homegrown teacher.
Yes.
Right? You're quite respected. Tell us a little bit about how that happened. I mean, how long have you taught, and do you feel that when you first started, you had zero respect, no one respected you, or no one knew you were teaching? Because there's this time it's kind of funny because I remember there's a time that you were saying something like, oh, everyone knows me as a DJ. They don't know me. They don't know me as a teacher, or they know me as a dancer, not as a DJ, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So, is that because of, let's say, you're too local?
It's possible. I mean, let's just face it. Myself and Rochelle, my first dance partner, we were thrown in the spotlight. We've mentioned this in the previous videos, and we were a couple that a lot of people just loved the way we dance. And even from the very beginning, even though we were super beginner, we competed, we won certain things, and through those accolades, people wanted us to teach at a very early start. So I started in 2012. The first championship we won was in 2016, and so I started teaching around year 4, 4.5, 5, and I think that. It's kind of like, oh yeah, that's Derek and Rochelle. We want to learn more about you, but then I think as I gotten older through Tango, I think people have forgotten a lot, or I don't know, they don't see me because I do so many other things. I DJ, I organize Practica, we do the podcast. I'm social dancing 5-6 times a week, and so people often, I don't know, maybe people don't see me as the teacher anymore, or it's very weird. It's kind of like I will go to the Milonga. I go out often. I'm someone who's still in the social scene a lot. At one point, I was teaching for 2 of the biggest schools in LA, and yet when I go to the Milonga, no one's literally being like, oh, and Derek's here. He's a teacher. Tell us about. He has he teaches classes on Monday and Thursday. No, but some random person that's from out of town that's only here for one night. It's like, oh, here's so-and-so Marcos from whatever. And they're going to announce them when I've been here every single day, every year. I teach twice at the biggest schools. It's kind of weird, right? It's People forget. Like I'm teaching every week.
I get it, but you know, like here's this. Like I think I'm guilty of this also. Like if we weren't like best buds, I probably would have done the same thing. No, to be honest with you, like because we're best buds, I want you to succeed as a teacher.
Yeah.
So like I always put that at the forefront. It's like it's in my mind. Oh, gotta announce Derek. You know.
It wouldn't bother me so much if they didn't announce every single other person that's a teacher.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like they're gonna announce every single other person and just bypass me. It's just like, wow, all right.
Yeah, I get you, but I think that's kind of the problem is that, you know, we have this buddy relationship with you. You have this buddy relationship with everybody.
Yeah.
That it's hard to kind of go, oh yeah, that's Derek. You know, like I grew up in Tango with this guy. You know, there are people that that started Tango before me, and it's hard. Like, and you know, let's just say they're a long-time beginner, right? Would they ever come to my class? No, they would never come to my class. You know, even if it's a free class, they wouldn't even show. No, I'll be honest. Like I teach free classes, and like, I teach a lot of like I do teach a lot of like community classes and stuff, and they would never. A lot of these people wouldn't show up.
I don't think it's not just you, but I think there's a stigma that comes with free.
Yeah, but what I'm. Yeah, okay, I agree with you there. But also at the same time, I'm just saying like there are people who take advantage of it, but it's just a lot of it is, I think there are people in the community who are starting out and they're teaching classes and they're doing free classes or they're doing community classes or they're doing budget classes or just even new classes, whatever. You'll never it's. The only time you'll see experienced tango dancers there is because they're trying to pick up on a girl. No, I'm not kidding. You know, like it's like they might just go, oh, I hear all they might stop on by and see how many cute girls are there, and if there aren't any, if there aren't enough, they'll just like, oh, I'm gonna pass this class, whatever. But that's kind of the thing. It's like because they've seen these people, they've grew up with them, or like they have more experience, like. They have more experience in terms of years, not in terms of actual ability, that they bypass them a lot. And sadly, when I think about it, I might be guilty of that also. So
here's a deep thought
Sure.
to consider. Do you think our race plays a part of this?
Our race?
Yeah. Do you think like if we were of Mexican descent or Argentinian descent, of course, or Colombian?
I think I would say it would play a factor with new people, not with the existing community. Because I'll be honest with you, like if I said, "Hey guys, I'm going to teach a class. I'd appreciate your support, like being there and everything."
Yeah.
The people who come and support are my friends who just want to see me do better. But everyone else, they probably wouldn't even show up. No one would show up. Everyone who would show up would be brand new people that I got from either Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, or like boots on the ground, just passing out flyers. That's it. It would not be anyone, like even people that I have 10 more years of experience with. If they've kind of like danced with me at a practica, because they're like year 2, and they're like, oh, he's a cool guy, whatever, they wouldn't take a class from me. And that's just plainly it. It's like,
But if you were Colombian or Argentinian,
No,
I don't think that would make a difference?
No, I don't think it would make a difference. I would think it'd make a difference for new people because then they go, oh, I want to learn from a Latin person. I want to learn from
Sure, yeah.
like a brand new person who's never, who has no experience with me.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say that'd be a factor because of the marketing, right? But I'm just saying, people who already know me already, I don't like. I could be Jose, and I'd still go to the same problems. I don't think that's a factor because it goes back down to it's like we already have this chummy buddy relationship already. Like race has nothing to do with it. It's that chummy. I mean, I would say the chummy buddy relationship supersedes race.
In some scenarios, yes, but I would say that I think you are a little underplaying the Argentinian card or the Latin card.
Maybe, but maybe it's just because I want to think I'm above politics, in this sense. It might be the case. I'm thinking like, oh, we're above politics. We're above like DEI or whatever, you know? like am I the I think it's because I don't want to be known as the DEI Tango teacher, you know? Like I'm the minority Tango teacher. Come take, support your minority Tango teachers. Like, no, I don't want to be that person. And maybe that's me speaking out against that. It's a possibility, but I really think that the buddy-buddy relationship that people have with me is the main factor of, because here we are talking about you can't be a prophet in your hometown. And it's that relationship. It's like, do I still take privates from Brian? No, I don't. Do I take privates from Carlos? Yes, right? But that's because I'm in a totally different realm. I don't have do I have a buddy-buddy relationship with Carlos? Not really. I've never really had a buddy-buddy relationship with Carlos, Yes, he's local, but it's not like, I grew up seeing him at a practica, like hanging out with him afterwards, which I had with Brian.
That's true.
And, so what I'm saying is like, I'm more likely to, let's say, here's the sad part. I'm more likely to take a class from Jerry, who's a great guy, who's hired me as a DJ and everything. He's a great guy, but because we never had lunch together, we never had dinner together, we never went to like Magic Mountain together.
True.
We don't have that buddy-buddy relationship. So it's easier for me to see Jerry as a teacher than it is for me to see Brian. Even though I see him as a teacher, because I have this relationship with him.
Yeah.
It's like
That's fair.
You know how we say, when you're overly available, people respect you less.
That's very true, especially in relationships and dating.
So in a sense, so I hate to say this, because Brian is more available to me because of this buddy-buddy relationship. I don't want to
value him less.
I mean, no. It's like, okay, this is my mind coming full circle. Do I want to admit it? No, because I want to believe that I revere this person who's my friend. I revere this person who is a national champion. I revere this person who is a Mundial bronze medalist. But if we're gonna say action speaks louder than words,
it's kind of like when friends want a discount.
Oh yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
It should be the opposite, right? It's like if you're a friend, like if Rob opened up some kind of business.
Yeah, if I open up a restaurant.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, can I get him free? Like, can I get free lunch every Wednesday? No, like as a friend, I would be like, I pay full price because I want to support his business.
Yeah, but again, and I do that for you also. But how many people actually say no, I want to pay full price?
It's true.
It's very rare, and even now, I remember when I was an organizer, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, well, come on, man, let's like, it's only $12 to you, dude. Just come on, I'm more of an asset for you here than not, It's like, so, I mean, yeah, and that might be true, whatever, but again, it's like because of this buddy-buddy relationship, people treat each other differently.
It's true.
And and then we start thinking about like, oh, come on, it's only $15. You don't need $15. Like, oh, you don't need this. You don't need, like, come on, man, it's just a burger. What's a big deal? It's like, you throw burgers away all the time, So it's the same thing. And
yeah, it's like we ran the $2 Practica, which is now $5 Practica. It's like, how do you skip out? Like some people like, oh, it's only $2. I forgot to pay. Sorry. It's like we've made this so it's more affordable and it's a benefit to the people in the community, and people are just like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'd rather, I'll pay $25 for other milonga, right? It's like, I mean, this is.
But pricing, anchoring is a different story. But do you think that's because of people's respect towards you, or do you think it's like the respect towards the pricing? Because those are two different concepts. True,
two different concepts.
I'm
Mr. Concept, so I mean.
Yeah.
Throwing out all these concepts.
Yeah. but what I'm getting at is, generally, like, it's very easy for people to take advantage of their friends without realizing it.
That's very true.
And also, it's really easy for people to take their friends for granted without realizing it.
That is also very true.
So, and I'm guilty of myself because now that I'm rambling, I'm going full circle. I'm going, man, you know, I'm not that good of a friend as I thought I was.
Oh, wow.
No, hey, you know what?
Nah, you do a lot. Of
I
things
do
for
a
people.
lot,
You do a lot.
but to certain people, I'm like, you know, I could have been a better friend to Brian. You know, when I come to think about it, it's like, you know, like I haven't did a private from in a while. You know, I haven't done these, and like, is it like, is
Me too.
you know, is this traveling maestro really better than Brian? I don't know. You know, hard to say. But it's almost like, but I see Lorraine and John Perro coming like, oh, I better save my money. You know, I see blah, you know, I see you know, it's hard to say. And then it's also like, then I see Brian like taking the workshops also. It's like
Exactly.
and then it's like, okay, well he's taking the workshops also. Then it's also, you know, and this is the other point I kind of want to hammer in, which is in BA, a lot of teachers take classes from other teachers, and like the knowledge goes full circle. It goes around and spreads around with everybody. And sometimes here also, like it's almost like if you want to learn from another local teacher, it's almost like admitting defeat. Like for example, I mean, I don't have an issue because I'm just like I'm a new teacher. I just teach privates to people who are pretty new, right? But let's just say let's just pretend I'm a serious teacher, right? And people see me as a serious teacher taking your class. It's like, oh, well, of course Derek's the better teacher because, you know, like Rob's taking classes from Derek. Why do I want to take classes from Rob? I take classes from Derek because he's learning from Derek, so I'm getting secondhand information. Right? You know, I mean, is that true or not true? You know?
Well, the thing is, when you, from what I've been told, is that in Buenos Aires, the teachers, they know, they specialize in certain things. They know one color that other people don't know as well, and so that's why other teachers want to take that, because they can admit that, oh yeah, if you want to learn more about, I don't know, colgadas, this is the teacher that specializes in that.
Yeah.
And so they recognize that not everybody, obviously you can't have the full spectrum of the tree of tango. There's only certain people have certain branches, and you go to different people to learn those branches.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have the same philosophy here locally in the U.S.
I agree, but I think it's not because of specialization. I think a lot of it is because of marketing, because it's marketing and the scarcity mentality. That's my opinion. Someone out there can prove me wrong, and someone out there can challenge me. That's fine, but I think it's a scarcity mentality and the marketing, because again, like if I were to take your classes and people see me take your classes, they're just going to go, Rob's only giving secondhand Derek information. Why don't I just go to Derek and get it from the source? You know, and that's a valid point, right? But maybe I'm also teaching things that, you know, are not in your class because I learned from elsewhere. You know? Maybe secondhand information from Mundial champion from Argentina, whatever, you know. But it comes back down to is that generally, when people see, if they see me in another class, a lot of times they'll automatically view it as Robert is less than.
Inferior.
Yeah, because he's learning from these other people, so therefore, and I have access to these people, why do I need to, you know?
It should be the opposite, right? It's kind of like, yeah, if you want to learn, you want to get better, you take from everybody.
Yeah.
Like you learn, you keep learning, you don't stop learning.
Yeah, but then here's the thing.
You shouldn't be penalized for trying to learn more.
I agree. But then now here's an interesting concept, because you always hear people going like, oh, you know, the teachers in LA, like, you know, they stopped learning. That's why they're not as good anymore, because they stopped learning. Because you hear that a lot. Like not even just LA, but other places. Like these people stopped learning. They stopped taking workshops. They stopped learning from the maestros, whatever. And it's almost like, what do you expect when people are being penalized for learning?
Yeah.
It's so. Man, dude, it just sucks being a teacher. Because like you're penalized for trying to do a good job, you're penalized for being too chummy and friendly. It's like
it's rough. It is a difficult task, and I really respect people that are full-time tango teachers, because I'm not a full-time tango teacher. Obviously, I have other endeavors and a career, but I definitely respect those who are full-time tango, because it is not easy. And like you said, there's all these different layers to it. And yes.
And it's also kind of funny because, like, you know, in a sense, as a teacher, like I'm like a nobody in LA, right? But then like I get people from I get people in Hawaii.
Come to our city. We
No,
want to
I
hear
know.
you.
Like I people like Hawaii, like come on to Hawaii, man.
Yeah.
Like we'll put you up for a week, and you can like we'll make it work. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, like really, like Hawaii knows me? Like what the hell, you know? So it's kind of funny. Like I mean,
Can't be a prophet in your own hometown.
I know. Like, do I need to like move to another city and like just start at singing school? Maybe that's the case. It's like, Rob, the LA Maestro. No, it's like, and then it's kind of funny because now that I think about it, like all these maestros that come from BA or Europe or whatever, it comes to LA. I wonder what they're like in their hometown. Like, do all these people just go, oh, yeah, here's the nobody just flying to LA teaching all these people?
They probably think that, honestly.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the traveling couples.
Yeah, and or like I could just imagine like in BA, all these people are going like, oh, like all these people like it's not real tango. It's just tourist tango. Like go ahead and sell your tourist tango. Like the real tango's here.
There is elements of truth to that. That's a whole nother video on its own. I think we could cover that topic in its own right. But yeah, let us know what you think about this whole hometown bias or lack thereof. We would like to know your thoughts on it. Leave a comment, leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to our channel. But thank you so much for watching our latest video, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Left Foot, Right Foot.
We appreciate your support, and make sure you click that subscribe button and that like button. It really helps with the algorithm, and also you receive all our latest updates. Thank you.